Hi, good evening everyone, and I'm sorry I'm such a slow bird about getting back out and doing more, but unfortunately I taught a week ago and lost my voice, so I'm just now getting it back. Hopefully I won't talk so much tonight or cough so much tonight that I lose it again, so I'm going to try and talk slowly and not use my voice a lot. But tonight we're doing the one that I think you've all been waiting for. That's the dot mandala pumpkin. I was hoping to get this done before Thanksgiving, but you know, things just don't always work out the way we have planned. But I'm doing the best I can, guys, so be patient with me. Let me pan down here. Let's see here. Okay, so tonight what we're base coating with is Duncan's Neon Orange cover coats. And I'm dotting with Duncan's Cobalt Crystal Black underglaze. Now I know most of you know that Duncan has sold all of its formulas to Mako, excuse me, and that Mako doesn't do cover coats, but I do believe they have a product called Foundations or UGs. I believe it's under UGs, which is like an underglaze, which I believe will work the same as cover coats. Okay. If not, you can also go to Amico, who has velvets who are ingobes or underglaze, clay-based underglazes as well. So you still have some options that you could use for the cover coats. The excuse me. We're not using any brushes tonight. We're using crochet hooks and styluses. Now tonight I'm only using one crochet hook. And that's for the big dot that is on here. The rest of these dots are done with the white stylus. So if you don't have, oh wait, I gotta find the notch. If you don't have the crochet hooks, you can use what's called a School Smart pencil, which is for kindergartner kids, and it's got a bigger eraser on it which can be used instead of the crochet hook. So you would only need to invest in a pencil and the stylus. Now the styluses can be bought on Amazon. Excuse me. They're pretty reasonable. It comes 5 in a set. I use the white and green mostly. I very seldom use the other ones, but the white and green I use the most. The crochet hooks come in 2 sets. The large set, which is what I call 1 through 4, and then the smaller set, which is 5 through 9. And these are Susan Bates plastic crochet hooks with the very flat bottoms on them, okay? Or like I said, you can use the pencil. So if you want to invest in the crochet hooks, they're also on Amazon. Again, it's Susan Bates. And that way you can do any dot mandalas that you want to do, okay? So let me move this stuff out of the way that we're not going to be using tonight. I'm going to be using this and this. Get rid of these guys out of the way. Okay. And you're going to need a plastic palette that has like little wells in it. And I know a lot of you who know me know I absolutely hate these kind of palettes, but for this particular technique, it's very important to have this kind of a palette because that way you can put the cover coats into the well deep enough to insert the stylus or the crochet hook or the eraser, whichever it is, okay? So on the, excuse me, so on the piece, I've done 3 sides, but I haven't done the 4th side yet. So I left the 4th side so you guys could see how I have done it, okay, on here. So we'll be doing that in just a second. But first I want to talk to you about using the different tools. So if you're using a crochet hook, excuse me guys, I'm sorry, using a crochet hook, you want to make sure that you put the crochet hook down into the well. So you can see how it's up over the side of the crochet hook. So down, okay, you don't want a drippy, okay, but it'll have like a dot falling off of it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take it over here. You're not going to press down. You're going to just hit the surface and raise right straight back up. Okay, so what I'm not doing is I'm not doing this, pushing down hard, because then what happens is you have this little place in the very center that there is no color. So dip it in, press down gently, and then lift straight back up. Okay, do it again, straight down, and right straight back up. Now always have a paper towel handy that's wet so that I can wipe my tools off as I go. Makes it a little easier than having to clean up afterwards, okay? Now with the stylus, we're going to be doing, let me pull the top off here, we're going to be doing different size dots. So on the, let me draw kind of like a little picture here. So on the curved part, like this, and then this one comes like this. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to start in the center with the largest dots. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to dip it, and I'm going to dot. I'm going to dip it, because I want them all the same size here, and dot. Dip it, and dot. And you want to keep them as close together as you can keep them as you're doing this. Okay? And not let them touch though. Let me go on the other side so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so just like that. And you'll continue on until you get down to, let me continue on this side, till you get down to where you want to start making the dots smaller, which is about right here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that makes those graduating dots. So let me hold that up so you can see. Okay? And then of course what you will do for the big dot is you will use your crochet hook. Well, let me do it with the pencil eraser that you can see here. So with the pencil eraser, you're going to do the same thing. Dip it in. Push it down. Just touch it. Don't push it down. Just touch it and lift it right straight back up. All right? So I think that's pretty simple. Now the other thing we're going to do as a filler, and you're going to have to practice with this because this takes a little bit of practice, is if you'll look on mine, you can see I have flower fillers. Small ones, large ones. I have what I call little swooshes, okay, which are right here, which are in between. It's kind of like a filler. So to do the flower, you're going to dip your stylus in the paint. And then what you're going to do is set it down and pull it. Okay? Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to, see if I can get my fingers to work here. I take it and turn it. I'm going to set it down. Make sure I have plenty of paint on there. And pull it. Okay? And I'm going to go here. Set it down. Pull it. Oops, just stuck my fingers in the paint. Set it down and pull it. Okay? Then I'm going to go back and go in between. Set it down and pull it. Set it down, pull it. Set it down, pull. Set it down and pull. Now every once in a while you want to wipe off that ball on your stylus because the dots will get bigger and bigger, so make sure that you wipe it off every now and then. So that shows you how I did the flower, okay? Now for the little ones that are what I call the little swooshes that are like right here, so it would be on your piece would be like right in this section right here, okay? So what I did is I dot, put my paint down, set the dot down, and pull it towards that center. Okay? dot it, pull it, dot it, and pull it. Okay? Can you see that? So that's basically all of the different strokes that are on this pumpkin. So normally what I try to do is I try to work on it to where it's together so that I can continue on down, okay? But I'm going to have to do it kind of, let me see how I can do this here. Let me see if I can get any closer. I'm going to get closer. Let me see, I'm going to have to go this way, I think. So let me move up closer so you can see. I think if I move up this way, you can see better, maybe, huh? Okay, so I'm not going to do these together till I get down to where the two meet, and then I'll put them back together, okay? So here's what you want to do. So I'm going to start here. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Dot. And you always want to kind of turn it sideways so you can see that they're not touching. That's really important, because you don't want the dots touching one another. So I'm not going to go very much further because this is coming down to that big round spot. So I'm going to just tap it, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? See that? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to wipe that tip off. So I'm going to start here. Let me get closer. Oh, look at this. I just stuck my hands in the paint. What a dummy. I'm really messy. I can't be messy here, guys, okay? Let me get this cleaned up. Let me move this piece of paper out of my way so I don't stick my hands in it again. Whew. Do as I say, not as I do. You know how that old saying goes. Don't be messy like the teacher. Get a little bit more water on there. There we go. Okay. So, let's look here now. So I'm going to go down this other side. Dot. And I want same size dots for a little while here. And I know this sounds like it does take a while because each one of these dots is the same size. If I don't make them the same size, then you're going to have graduating dots all along, which won't look as good. Okay, so now let me go up here to the top. And I'm going to start, I'm going to start here in the center. Dot. Dot. And if yours are farther apart, it's okay. It takes practice, and I still, once in a while, get them too close together and they're touching. Okay, so then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back and hit that one again. Now I'm going to turn it over and use the small size. 1, 2. There. Okay. Let me wipe this guy off. All right. Okay, so now let's do the other side. And we're going to go dot. Now see, I got that one a little bit close. That's what's nice, if you can turn it so that you can see where you're setting it down at. Because if you're looking across, sometimes you don't see that you're actually touching the one before it. Okay, now let's go back down this way. Keep trying to tip this so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. This is not going to be too many because it's going to be little baby dots because we don't have very far to go. Whoops. Make sure you get it in the paint. It does get too much paint on the end of it. Okay. Okay. Now let's go move over to this guy. I can't believe I just stuck my finger in. Pretend like you didn't see me do that, okay? So we're going to go here, here, let's see. All right, now I think you can see what I'm doing. This would be so much easier if I had it on the other side of me, but then you guys couldn't see what I'm doing here. Go down here. It's starting to get big on the end again. Oop, that was kind of a big one. That's okay. Nobody's going to go along and measure all of them. Okay. All right. So that takes care of this top part. So what I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to take the pencil so you can see it with the pencil. Okay. And we're going to make a round dot. Okay. Another one here. And one more right here. Okay, if you don't stay inside the lines, it's no biggie. Okay, so that half's done. So let me wipe this off. All right. Okay, so let's go to the bottom half here. See if this one's a little easier to see. And I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up so I don't put my fingers in it, hopefully. So I'm going to start here. As you guys can see, my hands are shaking tonight, so. You know what the old saying is, do as I say, not as I do. So it takes practice, but if you get them where they're too close together, the world has not come to an end. When it's dried a little bit, you can take one of the small styluses and just kind of carve between the two so that they're not touching anymore. So it's not like all is lost. So remember, keep cleaning your tool off because they start getting bigger and bigger. So right here I'm going to go down to skinny because they're going to cross over right there. And you see that? Where they're going to cross over. Okay. So let me go up this way. I don't have a... You guys can see better this way. I don't want a shadow on my hand so I can't see what I'm doing at all. I love doing these dotted dots. find it very relaxing. It's almost like doing pen and inks, how relaxing that is too. Just kind of lose yourself. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then I'm going to go right around here. Can you guys see that? Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. I'm right around here. This way. Now when I get done here, I'll put the lid on top and make sure that it's all matching. Okay, so now let's go back over to here and let's go down this side. So again, I'm going to start in the middle. It's hard for me to see how close I am with my hand on this side. It'll be much easier for you guys because you'll be able to keep your hand on the right side of the dot so you can see how close you're getting those dots together. Now when you get to these creases, sometimes they get a little bit bigger because of the fact that you're on both sides of the crease. Okay, so now let's go down this way. Wish I could figure out a way to keep that screen open so it didn't keep shutting down on me. But I'm not smart enough to do that. It's got to be boring for you guys, but that's okay. You can always come back and fast forward later, so you don't have to watch all the dots. That's why I'm only doing one section, because I figured, oh, if I did all 4 sections, you guys would be taking a contract down on me. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back this way. I don't want to stick my hand in the paint on this side. Let's see, can you see this? Yeah, I think maybe you can. I can't see, but you can see, I guess. I wish I could find the perfect setup to do this kind of stuff. Okay, now let's do this guy down here. Now when you put the pattern on, you need to put the pattern on tissue paper so that you can kind of manipulate it a little bit to go over the bumps. Okay. Let's see. You know, I've tried doing this with concepts, but unfortunately concepts have a tendency to spread out if you get them on thick. So I don't use concepts. Because I have a tendency to make my dots pretty heavy, so. Let's see here. But I don't want to stick my finger in there like I did before. Okay. And we're going to go up to this guy. And again, always start in the middle and work your way down so that you can have them graduate a little bit when you get closer to those narrower spots. Okay. And then this one's going to come this way. Okay. Now, go here maybe. You guys see this if I do this up this way? Yeah, I think maybe you can. If it's not big enough, you can go back over the dot to make it bigger if you need to, okay? You don't, because it means you didn't have enough paint on there. Okay, now let's go this way. There's one lady that does these dot mandalas using a brush. It's like, yike. I don't know about that. I have a hard enough time with a stylus without making dots with a brush all exactly the same size. That takes a lot of practice. But if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of people doing dot mandalas. And you can take any one of the ones that they're doing and convert that to a fired product. And from now on, guys, I'm going to be putting all of the videos on YouTube, only because it takes such a long time for Facebook to upload when these videos are large. So I'm going to do this one with the crochet hook. Did the other ones with the... And if it's not as big a thing, don't worry about it. The lines are going to fire away. So it's not going to be any biggie. Okay, so let's see here now. Let me put this guy on here and make sure it all lines up good. So where's my notch? My notch is here and here and here. Okay, so if I turn it, you can see how it matches up good, okay? Perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I call the swooshes, and they're going to be, let me see if I can, they're going to be, let me do this 2 parts. So that's going to be like in these areas, like right here. So I'm going to dot. I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to drag up. Okay, then I'm going to dot again, set it down, and drag up. Dot again, set it down, and drag up. All right. Now this one's really not big enough for one in there. This one is large enough right here, and this one probably right here is large enough. So let me do those guys next. So here, and you don't have to do 3. You can only do 1 if you only want to do 1. So if you want to do 1, just set it down, probably load it twice, and then drag it up. And that's 1. Okay? So that's 1 versus the 3. And I'm going to do the same thing I think over here, because this is kind of a skinny spot, so I'm going to dip it a couple of times, and then I'm going to drag it up. Okay? All right. Now on here I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put a flower, like right here, because I got a big spot. So let's do here, and drag it up, and drag it. You guys see that what I'm doing there? Yeah. And okay. Now if you wanted to, if you wanted smaller ones, you could actually go to the smaller stylus too. You could go to the green one and make smaller ones. Okay, so you can see that one's right there. Now, let me see here. I probably would do another one here, so you can work your way around if you'd like. I want to make sure I'm not sticking my fingers in where there's any paint. Just make sure you leave a center, open center. If for some reason you don't have an open center, you can always go back with the orange cover coat and put a dot in the center. Okay. All right. Now I think I'm going to put another one like right here maybe. Let's see, let me see if I can do that right here. You guys can see if I do it like this. So this one's going to be like here, okay, and here. It's going to be a smaller one here. I got to fix those where I stuck my fingers in them, but I'll do that after it dries. I hate it when I do that, sticking my fingers in. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to do these all over the place, because you can look at the picture on this one, because you get a picture of this one and see where I put all the dots, okay, and the flowers. So wherever you think you need a filler. So I think right here. Let me get the smaller style so I can show you what it looks like with the smaller one too. Because you may like the smaller ones better. You know, this is going to be personal preference. But remember, this technique is practice. Okay? Okay, so let me get the smaller one here. Let's see, let me get the green one so you can see the difference in the sizes. So here's the green one, and I'm using the biggest size on the biggest ball on the green one as well as on the white one, okay? So let's do one right here. Can you see right here, I think? Okay, so here we're going to go here, here. You can see that it makes the petals that you're dragging a little smaller. They're not as fat because the ball on the green one is a little closer. Okay? So, you can see this one's bigger and this one's smaller. But it's, you know, it's going to be personal preference. What you like. It's like my friend used to say years ago, it's your piece. I'm going to do another one like right here. See, let me do one right here. I'm going to go right here. Drag it up. Here. Drag it up. Here. Drag it up. Okay. So just continue to do as much or as little as you want without sticking your fingers. And what I would recommend too, when you finally get to where you've really got a lot of placed on here that you could stick your fingers, is let it dry and then go back and do more. Okay? Okay? So you can see that one compared to this guy. I have a lot more flowers on here. So I have, you know, flowers like in here, down here. So you can put as many or as few, and I don't want you to have to sit here all night and watch me do all these flowers, because it's going to take forever, okay? But the last thing I want to show you to do is what we call top drop dots. And that's where you're going to take a third color, or you're going to take the orange, and I used the orange so that I just stuck with the two colors. And this time I'm going to use, this is where I'm going to use one more of my crochet hooks, and I'm using what's called the number 8, which is the red one. So you're going to dip it and put it right there on the center of those big ones. Okay, just like that. Now if it looks like it's not on heavy enough, let it dry, go back and put a second one on top. Okay, but you gotta let it dry in between because you don't want the color to run, that's for sure, because it's on so heavy. So all these big ones have got big orange dots in the center. Now let me show you what I did with my flowers, because I wanted the flowers to have a center. So I went back with my green stylus and I just put a dot right in the center, and then when that dried I went back and put an orange dot on top of that black dot, so that, let's see, flower, flower, flower. Okay, oh no, there's one right there. Okay. So you can see here, if I get close enough, you can see where on the flower centers it has an orange dot on top. Now you could put more orange dots on if you wanted to. It's up to you. The other thing I thought would be nice, if you're not going to use this for, you know, to put food in, is to put those beautiful crystals. To put those beautiful crystals on and glue them on top of here, which I think would be really pretty, and make it into more like a jewelry box. And of course, the last thing I did with my brushes, I painted the knob here with black cover coats, 2 coats of black cover coats. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was fun for me. Like I said, we'll make sure you get a good picture of the piece here. Again, like I said before, we're going to be putting all of the, let me bring this back up, we're going to be putting all the videos on my YouTube channel, which is again Arlene D. Space Online on YouTube, because it's easier to load bigger files onto YouTube than it is to Facebook. But Facebook will continue to have the files with instructions on them. So, you know, once you've watched the video, if you want the written instructions so that you can teach again, you need to go to my Facebook group, Arlene D. Space Online, and join so that you can get all the written instructions. So anyway, hopefully I'll be doing another one sooner than later. I still have one more pumpkin to do, which I want to get done before too long so that you guys can use it. Because, you know, there's things you can do all year long with the pumpkins that you don't have to be at sun. You can get ready for next year. So anyway, with all of that, I'm going to say God bless, good night, take care, and stay safe, everyone.